today, 3-set victory over Loyola. You never want to say a conference match is routine, but the first 2 sets looked pretty routine, 25-17 and 25-9. And then the 3rd set, it kind of got a little out of hand for you guys, but you held on for a 3-set win. Talk about the match and what you saw in it.
Well, I think that we're capable, very capable of being the team that we were in games 1 and 2 a lot more often than we are, and we've played some games this year where I felt like we really started to click and things really started to run pretty efficiently, and I don't think that we've played a match near our top end yet for an entire match, and you look at game 3 and they came out of the locker room and they did some things better and played a little better, but we just kind of take our foot off the pedal a little bit, and we've got to go to Orlando in a couple weeks, and if you're going to win a conference championship, you've got to be able to be really good for 3 days.
Going into this match, it's the first weekday night match that we've played all season at home, and it's senior night as well. It has the potential of being kind of an emotional night where maybe the seniors get off to a little slow start or not, but up and down the line, every single one of them had a tremendous game. Between Colleen hitting 667, Rachel hitting 500, Nieters with 19 digs, Laura with 10 digs, Erickson great game, and Bethany as well. Talk about how impressed you were at how they went out tonight.
The thing that I was most impressed with is right before the warm-up clock got to a minute left, and one of those kids looked at me and said, I'm ready to have this over with and just go play. And it's taken us 4 years to get to that point, and I thought that they handled it well. I mean, it obviously was an emotional day. It was an emotional day for me too, but I thought that they did a good job of handling their business and taking care of what they had to get done tonight.
Looking at the standings, you got 10 MAC wins now, 10-5, tied with Canisius until they play tomorrow. And whether they win or lose, we go back to 1 or we have it by ourselves.
Right.
Then we have the day off, 2 days off actually, which is kind of a luxury in the middle of the conference season. You won't be practicing; you just kind of get your heads together. And then you have St. Peter's on Monday night. Talk about how important it is to get a win against a team that's kind of towards the bottom of the.
Unbelievably important. And 2 days off is a luxury. I wish that it wasn't 2 days off right before we play again, but we know that where we are now, we have to rest, and that's one of the most important things that we have to try to build into the next 2 weeks. So the next 2 days we'll watch a little film, but we're going to rest our legs and see what we can do against St. Peter's on Monday. I think we have to we have to play a great match, but the crowds that we've been drawing here have been strong, and they keep us going a lot of times. Kept us going in game 3 tonight, so. I think we've got a pretty good shot on Monday of being good, but we've got to be able to put 3 good days together. That's the team we've got to become.
All right, Coach, good luck, and we'll see you. Colleen had a 3-set win over Loyola today. Looked pretty good in the first 2 sets. Kind of squeaked one by there in the 3rd set to get the sweep. Talk about the match and how it went.
Well, obviously it was senior night, and it meant a lot to us 7. Because we've been here, all 4 years, all 7 of us together, and winning on senior night's always a hard thing, especially this weekend was moved to Friday night, so we were kind of thrown off. It's just a really important match for us to win, especially after our loss last Sunday. So.
Well, you couldn't have a better night. I think you just missed your career high by 1 kill. You had 15 kills, hit 667, and going into the last couple hits where they actually dug it out, you were hitting over 700 for most of the game. Talk about your play and how you kind of stepped it up here on senior night, despite the emotional beginning.
More than anything, I think it was just I was really, really pumped up. It's our last home game's Monday, but this is our senior night. Everyone's parents are here, and I just knew that it's vital for us to put balls down, and that's my job. That's my one job. So
it's interesting when you look at some of the matches that you guys played this year. A lot of them have generally been evenly split between the middles and the right side and the left side. Last weekend the left side had a great weekend with Teresa and Alicia. Tonight, you and Rachel combined for 24 kills. You both hit over 500. Talk about the depth of your team and kind of like how you guys like to spread the wealth, and anyone can be a weapon any night.
Yeah, we always talk about that. We're really, really good at distributing our kills. We don't have one player that we always go to, so I think that is part of our success. We're able to either run the outsides or run the middles. Usually it's heavy one game, and usually it depends, but we're really, really good in spreading our offense around, which I think is our key to winning.
We got a matchup on Monday night against St. Peter's. Good luck. Allison, a 3-set win over Loyola today at home. You guys look great in the first 2 sets. Kind of hang on there in the 3rd set. Talk about what happened in the first two and that happened in the third, and how the game went for you.
Well, I think tonight, especially on senior night, we knew it was going to be pretty emotional and a lot of adrenaline going in the first two games. And not to say we can't do that all the time, and we should, but I think that we kind of, at the halfway break tonight, just kind of hit a lull. But we know how to get the job done and finish strong and put teams away, so that's reassuring.
You talk about the emotions and, you know, the opportunity for maybe a little letdown there to start off as, you know, you do your senior day presentation. But you look up and down the line, all 6 of you guys had tremendous games today. What does that say about, you know, you guys as a class, you guys sticking together and getting it done in front of the great crowd that we have?
I think that it's just finally a culmination of hard work over 4 years, and you know, we're all hungry for a championship this year. We've put in all the hard work, gone through falls, springs together, and on and off the court. You know, we're so close, and we know what we have to do on the court to win matches.
Looking at the standings, you guys climb back into second place, tied with Canisius, you know, with a 10-5 record. Until tomorrow, whether or not they win or lose, you go up or down. But on Monday, you guys take on St. Peter's, who's kind of towards the bottom of the standings. It's still an important matchup when it comes to seeding and stuff like that. Talk about how important it is for you guys to retain focus and remain focused for the game against a team that's kind of, you know, towards the bottom of the standings.
Well, we know that anybody can really get anybody on any given day, especially if you catch somebody who gets relaxed at the top end. And we want to make sure that we're not that team. We're a mature team, and all the older players on the court should know that teams in the bottom half can always come back, and you really have to be ready to expect anything on game days.
Well, Allison, thank you very much. Great game tonight, and we'll see you Monday.
Thank you.